Welcome to Button FM. I'm Pat Butcher. Boo 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 boo. The greatest DJ in the area. Pat Butcher. Oh, let's take that off. Hello. Welcome to another video. I chose to film this on literally the hottest day of the year. And I am boiling. After the completely unexpected success of my ranking the Horrible Histories songs video, which has been my most viewed video to date, I thought it was about time I made one about BBC ghosts. So, if you watch my HH video, you will know that I'm a massive Six Idiots fan. I love Horrible Histories, that's where the love began. I love Yonderland, and I also absolutely love BBC Ghosts. Season 3 is coming soon. I am beyond excited. I literally cannot wait. I went to the premiere of the first episode when nobody knew what it was, and now suddenly all these people love it, and it makes me so happy because I genuinely think it is brilliant. There's also going to be an American adaptation. I don't know how I feel about that. But on the plus side, they all make a lot of money from it, you know, the Six Idiots, so whether it's bad or good, it's good for them. Ghosts also just won the Best Comedy Award at Sky, which I was so happy about. Like, they literally just won it a couple of days ago. If you haven't watched it already, I really can't recommend it highly enough. It's about this couple, Alison and Mike, who inherit this big house called Button House, and then Alison has an accident, and as a result of that accident she finds out that she's able to see ghosts, almost like the Sixth Sense, and she starts seeing all of the ghosts that live in the house with her, and it is so funny. So what I've done is I've gone through, I've watched every episode yet another time, a real hardship, and I've decided to rank the episodes, and I thought that by ranking them I could go through some of my favourite moments with you, we could just have a little chat about it. So yes, let's get into it.
And action.
So I've got my phone here with the rankings on it, and I've got my notes as well that I made. I took this very seriously. I went through and made notes on every episode. There are 13 episodes altogether, and I'm going to go from my least favourite all the way up to my favourite one. In last place, my least favourite episode was actually the most recent one. It was Series 2, Episode 7, The Ghost of Christmas. I just want to stress, I do love all of the episodes, and this was incredibly hard, but this one, I didn't love it as much as the others, and I think there's a reason for that. This was released separately to the rest of the series, so we had to wait for it. I think I built up quite high expectations about what I thought the episode would be, and so to be honest, anything was going to be disappointing because I just built it up so much and was waiting for it. But this episode definitely has some really good moments. My favourite bit in this whole episode is when the ghosts play Twister.
Oh, roger that. Victory this day.
I just think it's so funny. Whoever came up with that idea, it was perfect. I also love the fact that it's a realistic Christmas. I'm not Christian, but I do celebrate Christmas. And I feel like so often there is so much pressure to get the perfect Christmas. And this episode really reflected that well. It was really realistic, everyone having arguments. Everyone being a bit fed up. I loved the Button House snow globe. I want to try and figure out how to make one because I would really love to have that. I love Julian and the baby. I thought that was really sweet. So yeah, it's a good episode, but it's just not my favourite. It didn't make me laugh as much as the other ones. In 12th place, we have Series 2, Episode 6, Perfect Day. And the reason this one's a bit lower down is because it's quite a sad episode. It has some lovely moments. Pat meets the boy who, you know, and forgives him, which is really lovely. I really love the wedding. It was so lovely to see two women getting married, and the Six Idiots have always been huge supporters of LGBTQIA+ people and the community. I loved Cap getting really invested in all of the fashion.
Wonderful choice.
A darker shade as if to frame the glowing white of the beautiful bride without upstaging her.
Oh. Does nobody wear a gown to a wedding nowadays?
No, it's chic, and it's now, and if it makes her feel fabulous, then, yeah.
And the interior design.
Of course, is symmetry. 2 banks of seating with a clear avenue for the entrance of the bride. Let's line that up. Very good, carry on. Yeah, a little bit higher. We want lovely long loops, like waves across the space, don't you think, Julian? Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, it's like a flower grenade has gone off. It's fabulous. Now, I was thinking perhaps flowers on the end of each aisle, floral streetlight, if you will.
That made me so happy. I really liked Humphrey's speech to Lady Button about marriage and the importance of being with someone that you actually like and you actually love. It's a bit more of a kind of bittersweet, slow, sad one. It doesn't make me as happy as some of the other ones. By the way, do you like my top? This is from Depop, and then I sewed my Beavers badges onto it. I was a beaver. I wasn't a cub. I was a brownie. But yes, these are my actual Beavers badges. Oh no, one of them's coming off. I didn't sew them on very well. Oh well, we'll just ignore that. Then in 11th place, we have the very first episode, episode 1, series 1, which is called Who Do You Think You Are? And this is a great one. It introduces all of the characters for the first time. It sets everything up. We've got some iconic Cap moments.
Yes, please, Mary.
Yes. He'd make a very fine soldier.
I just love him so much. I love the iconic "Answer the question, damn your eyes!"
Answer the question, damn your eyes!
I remember the first time I watched it, I didn't love it. I love it now because I see how important it was to introducing all the characters. But I think the really good episodes come later on, once we already know the characters and when you can tell that they're really exploring all of their quirks or you're learning their history. So yeah, this one isn't my favourite. It's still a good one, but it's not as good as some of the other ones, I don't think. Just because at that point the audience haven't grown those attachments to the characters yet, so there's not as much that the script can do, whereas later on it's just perfect. In 10th place, we have episode 6 of series 1, which is called Getting Out. This house hunting lady comes to try and buy Button House, and the ghosts realise that she's up to no good, and they come together, although it's mainly Cap, to try and foil her plans. My favourite bit of this one is when Alison and Mike go to look at houses to potentially move into, because Alison can see the people who have died in the houses.
Let's take a look inside, shall we?
No.
Sorry?
No. I'm just not really feeling this one.
The first thing I'm going to show you, because let's face it, that's why we're up here. The view.
You've got to be joking.
I know. Stunning, isn't it? And it's south-facing, so, you know, when the sun's out...
Hello.
It makes me laugh so much. Actually, my favourite bit from this episode is in the plague pit.
Oh gosh, look, Mick, it's you!
How do you know?
It is so good. In 9th place, we have Series 1, Episode 2, which is Guerrilla War. This has some amazing moments. My favourite is, Daddy's gonna drill a hole in the wall.
Daddy gonna drill a hole in the wall.
Daddy's not drilling any holes in any...
And Daddy's gonna fix the boiler now.
You two gonna show Daddy how.
I love it so much. I love it that the plague pit people know how to fix the boiler.
Oh, no, Daddy. No, you need to prime the inlet pump.
Or just hit it with a hammer.
Unbelievable.
Technical. Yeah.
I really love it when Alison goes to the doctor's and then the doctor is a ghost.
I'm dead.
So sorry to have kept you.
Oh, she's very good.
So yeah, that's a great one. In 8th place, it's Series 2, Episode 2, About Last Night. In this one, Alison and Mike have had a party and they wake up really hungover and they can't really figure out what's going on. It's brilliant. My favourite bit is, of course, when Pat dances. although I wish that could have gone on a little bit longer. My intro was kind of my way of fixing that. Because I would quite happily watch an entire compilation of Pat just dancing. I think he's amazing. We have some iconic lines from Jim in this episode, both as Pat and as one of the plague victims.
I said I was sorry. I'm really sorry.
Killed my kids, mate.
This is the episode where we find out how the plague victims got the plague, and it's really funny. And the ending for this episode makes me laugh so much when the pipe falls down and Alison is then sick.
Welcome to Bolton House.
It's so good. I really love it. Then in 7th place, we have Series 2, Episode 3, Reading Weddy. This is the one with Cap and Havers in it. Breaks my heart. I do wish, I understand why they did it, but I wish it could have been a little bit less queerbaity. Because obviously we know that Cap is gay, but in this one I thought it would be really clearly told. Like we'd learn more about maybe a blossoming relationship with Havers, but it was all a bit of a grey area about is he not? And it would have been nice to have it a bit more clear instead of kind of steering around the topic. Although I can appreciate in the time that people didn't want to be explicit about being gay because it was illegal. I love Lady Button's crush on Mike. I love the Top Gun references. The volleyball scene with Humphrey's head is just brilliant. It's a great episode. I love it. In 6th place, we have Series 1, Episode 5, Mona Stona. I love this episode. This is the one where Robin has his Muna ceremony and Alison's trying to host a dinner party. It is so funny. It's also the episode where the ghosts discover friends.
Pray tell, how are you doing?
No, don't.
I love the bit where Cap helps Mike shoot a pheasant.
I don't think I
Gleaming Bondu cop from the civvy. We'll have him out boshing Joey in no time.
What do you say?
No idea. And then something racist.
I love it when Mary is asked to mind the cooking as well.
Stuart Day, all the war has turned to clouds.
I love it when they're playing charades. What be a Tootsie?
Tootsie, it's Tootsie. Tootsie, Tootsie. Stop saying Tootsie.
What be a Tootsie?
Pat meets the Labrador.
You're lovely, ain't you? It's worth it. Oh, hello, girl. Yeah. Oh. I can't touch you anymore.
I just love this episode so much. In 5th place, we have Series 1, Episode 3, Happy Death Day. This is the episode where we find out about Pat's death.
Hi. Yeah. Yeah, it's gone through that, clean through.
It's got some really funny moments, like Thomas trying to write a poem and then accidentally writing I Should Be So Lucky by Kylie Minogue.
I should be so lucky. 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 Lucky.
I hate to tell you this, but that is Kylie Minogue.
What is a Kylie Minogue?
The builders come round. We've got Robin seeing a drill for the first time.
What's all this commotion?
We've got Mary waiting for Mike in the bath. I love it when Pat sees his grandson.
He's got my legs.
It's just brilliant. I love it so much. In 4th place is Series 2, Episode 5, which is Bump in the Night. This is the one where the house gets burgled when Alison is out and the ghosts have to try and communicate with Mike. It's so funny. I love the bit where Julian's writing on the mirror.
Okay, how many burglars are there? 20. I need to get out of it.
What are you doing? There's not 20.
No, I was writing 2 of them.
Just write 2.
I love how much Pat decides that he hates the young burglar after he puts chewing gum on the furniture.
Young man, you are heading down a dark path. But it's not too late, you know, you're yet to commit a serious offence. Oh, Borstal. You're going to Borstal, they're going to eat you alive. You made your bed. Don't come crying to me when you bend over in the shower and someone puts drugs in your bottom.
I love it how Robin contacts the dogs by howling at them and manages to save the day, although it's really dark. I love the hitchhiker joke.
Hello. Hello. Were you murdered while hitchhiking too? Huh? Oh no.
It is just so funny. In third place, we have Series 1, Episode 4, which is Free Pass. This is one of my favourite episodes. I love it so much. This is when the film crew come to film a period piece. It's so funny. I love Mary in this episode.
What are they feeding the metal cow?
Oh, no, that's not a cow, Mary. No, that's called a camera.
Robin with the lights. Cap's crush on Adam.
AD's on channel 2, please.
Thomas going to drown himself in the lake.
I'm going to drown myself in the lake. I mean it.
My sister for Christmas got me this notebook off Redbubble and I just love it so much. I'm going to do my finances in this. I feel that that's apt, doing my budgeting in this book. I could watch that episode on repeat and I don't think I'd ever get bored. The bit when Toby falls through the floor literally killed me.
I will kiss you.
But yeah, I love it. It's brilliant. In second place, we have Series 2, Episode 4, The Thomas Thorne Affair. This was very nearly my favourite episode. I really love this one. This is the one where we finally got to see Thomas's backstory. But the brilliant thing is you get to see it told through the eyes of all the different ghosts. And it is comedy gold.
It's big, nice house. Nice to come, me not want to live here.
Talking and not floating about the place. Do you mind? Kitty was telling the story.
I love it when Mary talks about being sucked off.
I used to dream of the day that I would be sucked off.
I love it when Robin says how everyone came from him and his sister.
You all come from me and my sister. Joking.
Right, that's quite enough of this nonsense.
I genuinely love that episode with all my heart. It's brilliant. And then in first place, my favourite ever Ghosts episode is Series 2, Episode 1, The Grey Lady. I love this episode so much. This episode has the best opening sequence of all time. When Thomas dances to The Cure.
He just really speaks to me. No, not this Burke again. Get a job.
That I was like, I can just die happy. Matt Bainton dancing to The Cure, my favourite band, with my favourite song, Friday I'm in Love. Can you tell I'm getting really excited now? I just loved it so much. I love seeing Humphrey reading the Charles I book.
I did not like where this is going.
I love the plague pit. Guess who?
Evidence of extensive syphilis. Same as the mail from yesterday.
Jeff?
What? Someone's been a naughty boy.
It kills me. I love it so much. We have Button FM.
Boo 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 boo. The greatest DJ in the area. Pat Butcher.
I love Thomas's cheese advert. It makes me so happy.
Buy Louise's pleasing cheese. Made from only the freshest Jersey milk, lovingly thumbed from our all-Frisian herd.
I just think if you want to see a perfect piece of comedy, a perfect episode of television where literally everything is fantastic, the characters are so well realised, it's really funny, definitely watch that episode. It's my favourite. I just love it so much. And I can't wait for series 3. The thought that I might have episodes that I love as much or even more than that one just makes me so excited. So that's it. You've reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you think of my rankings, if you have any favourite ghost moments. Let me know if you'd like more Six Idiots videos and if you have any suggestions. I'm thinking I might like to make a Yonderland themed one maybe? It seems weird to do horrible histories and ghosts and not Yonderland, but I'll have to have a think. Let me know what you would like to see in series 3 of Ghosts, because I already have so many ideas. I'm really hoping we get to see a bit more of Julian's backstory. I think that's been hinted in the trailers, but fingers crossed we'll get some more backstories because there are so many that we still don't know. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a like and you can also hit subscribe, but only if you fancy. A heads up as well for my current subscribers, I'm not going to be uploading every week anymore just because I was kind of losing my mind a bit. So I'll still make regular content, but it won't be every single week. Anyway, thanks again for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely had a lot of fun. And now I'm going to get changed because I am literally boiling. Bye!